Hello everybody, today's installment is the next episode in my A to Z series of fragrances. We are up to the letter P. Today we're going to talk about Patrick from the Fragrances of Ireland. Hey, welcome back. Very quick and simple overview of this lovely fragrance. Patrick comes from the house of the Fragrances of Ireland, and as far as I can tell, they released a range of fragrances back in the 90s, and it looks as though this might be the last one that they released back in 1999. You may have heard of one other fragrances that's in their range that I've certainly heard of, and that is a fragrance called Innis. I'll put a link to the Fragrances of Ireland website below so you can check out what they have. But what we're talking about here is fantastic value for money, very clean fougere. I ordered directly from Fragrances of Ireland, had it shipped to Australia, and cost me about $40. It is really probably underrated or overlooked because it's not widely available in stores everywhere. You don't see it at your local discounted chemist shelves for fragrances, and I really only heard about this through reading forums like Base Notes and Fragrantica, and a couple of people have this fragrances and rate it really highly. And I read reviews, looked at the notes, I thought, well, for what it's going to cost, it wouldn't hurt. You get a 100ml bottle, nice classy packaging, nothing too special, but it's a nice bottle. Now, just inside, as I said, to me it's a very clean smelling fougere. For some reason, Fragrantica classify it as an oriental fougere, and I'm not entirely sure what makes it oriental. I'll spray an opening. I've got dry down on this hand, and I'll spray the opening spray on this other hand just to look at the differences. But what you will find is this is a really simple straight ahead fragrance. It does develop, but doesn't do anything special, but the simplicity of it is, I think, what makes it really good, and it does simple really well. So it's good amount of spray that comes out from that sprayer. So straight away I get a combination of citrus, undefined citrus. There's probably bergamot, there might even be a little bit of orange there. And definitely some green notes. So it's a combination of citrus and green, and at this point there's nothing too spicy here, like you might find in other types of fougères where there's something usually put in there to add a bit of kick. This is quite smooth and clean. Now I know I've described it as clean already a few times, and that's because it smells like you've used a really nice soap, come out of the shower, and your skin is basically as clean as it can possibly be and smells great. Now, some of the reviews I've read about this, people mention that it reminds them of something called Irish Spring soap, and I don't think we get it here in Australia. I'm sure there's probably some kind of soap product that smells like it, but apparently it is quite well known in Europe. I've never smelled it, but if there's a soap that smells like this, it's really, really nice. Now, what happens is once that citrus and green notes die down a bit, you get into a kind of floral heart. I definitely pick up some rose, and probably there might be something like carnation in here, because I find carnation is a note that's used in quite a lot of fougères. I can certainly pick up some rose, and there's some other floral mixed in with it as well. So that's pretty much the progression until it gets to its base, and in the base is where you'll find your traditional fougere ingredients like oak moss, vetiver, patchouli, and on this hand with the dry down, you certainly are getting most of that. So again, it's straightforward, it's clean, it doesn't do anything spectacular, but what it does do, it does really, really well. I think for the amount that it costs, if you're looking for a fougere that's a really easy reach and is fantastic for most weather, I mean, I think this is probably more suitable to warmer weather. It's that type of fougere where it's not too heavy in the base, and the citrus and green notes certainly give it a refreshing feel. The heart notes aren't too thick that it becomes cloying, and this has decent longevity. I think, you know, the few times I've worn it, I've gotten between 6 and 8 hours. This does say it is a cologne spray, so it probably is a weaker concentration to an EDT. So for me to get about 6 to 8 hours at best is probably pretty good for an eau de cologne concentration. So if you're looking for something clean smelling, very cheap, does what it does really well, no fuss, I can't recommend Patrick enough. I did mention this, I did highlight this in a video. Myself and other reviewers did a collaboration on our favourite finds for 2017 so far. Patrick was my choice, but it was included as part of my general discovery of fougères this year, which previously I'd kind of neglected. But this for me is one of the nicer ones in the clean variety. Probably lacks the richness and complexity of something in the same genre like Rive Gauche by Yves Saint Laurent. That has a bit more going on, but that's a really luxuriant, clean, fresh fougere. Patrick's just a simplified version, but it costs a lot less, and I can't recommend it highly enough. And also, dealing with Fragrances of Ireland, whenever I've emailed them and contacted them over Instagram, they have fantastic customer service, and anytime I deal with any perfumery or, you know, house and I get great customer service, I'm always more inclined to give their products a go or want to try more of their stuff. You can make the greatest perfume, but if I get crap customer service or a really bad customer experience, I won't be looking again. So that's Patrick from Fragrances of Ireland, and I will see you next time with the next video. See you later.